In today's video, I'm going to teach you the exact trading strategy that I use to make consistent prop firm payouts and get max allocation with several different prop firms. Now, after watching this video from start to finish, you will be able to copy my trading strategy onto your own charts using the 4 simple confluences, which I will be explaining in full throughout this video. Now, the best part of this strategy is that it works on any single time frame, meaning that you can use it on both the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, or even on the 50-minute time frame, meaning that it's both suited for swing and day trading. Now, without further ado, let's dive straight in. Now, let's start with market structure. And market structure can be as simple as identifying higher highs and higher lows for an overall uptrend and lower lows and lower highs for an overall downtrend. Now, if we view this chart objectively, we can very clearly see that the overall market is trending in towards the upside. As you can see here, we're creating a higher high, a higher high, a higher high, and another higher high, and we're creating beautiful higher low, higher low, higher low, and another higher low. So in an overall uptrend, if we look at it from a very simple perspective, what do we now expect the market here on the daily time frame to do? Indeed, we expect the market to create a new higher high. Now, when trading market structure, the only single objective that you have is every single time trying to trade the overall impulse in towards the next higher high. That is how simple trading market structure should be. So when I look at this overall chart here, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to identify a trade within the next impulse in towards what could potentially be a new higher high. Because if we mark out market structure here on the daily time frame, you can very clearly see here that we have beautiful impulse, another beautiful impulse, but in between the overall impulsive phases, what do we have? We have these little pullback phases, and I'm going to make these pullback phases orange so that we clearly understand that that is where the overall pullback is taking place. Now, the goal of the strategy here is that we enter within this overall pullback phase, okay? So what you want to do is you want to look for a trade within the overall orange zone. And if you mark out the overall daily high and the overall daily low, what we can then identify is something called a daily swing range. And especially if you go down a time frame to, for example, the 4-hour, you'll then very clearly see here that we have an overall swing low and that we have an overall swing high. Now, the overall objective, like I just said, is understanding how and when we're going to put in a new higher high, because we want to be trading the next overall impulsive phase in towards the upside, right? Because if we, let's say, enter at the beginning of the overall upside push, that is where the best trades could be taken. As we can see over here, as we can see, for example, over here, this is when the overall big pushes happen, right? When the overall orange zone ends. So what I'm going to be looking for and trying to understand in today's video is, when do we then understand that that orange zone is ended and that the market is ready to continue pushing in towards the highs? Now, what we use for that are the 3 other confluences. So with the confluence point number 1 now discussed, which is the bullish market structure from this low in towards this high, we can go to the next piece of confluence, which is the premium versus discount tool. Now, the premium versus discount tool is very simply said a Fibonacci retracement tool. And if you're looking for the overall Fib settings that I'm using here, I'm using the 0, 0.5, and the 1. I have my background turned off, and I'm trading without reverse prices and levels, keeping it nice and simple. And all we simply want to see from the market is that every single time we have the overall impulsive phase, which is this overall blue zone, which I draw in, I want to see the orange phase retrace to at least that 0.5 Fib retracement level to then understand that the market could be ready to head up higher again. Now, we can see it the first time play out. The second time, what happens? It plays out as well, as we see the beautiful retracement. And now the third time, what are we seeing? We're seeing it play out as well below the 0.5 Fib. That is where the market retraced to. So we now have the second piece of confluence to understand, hey, we're looking for that potential long opportunity in towards the upside. Now, trading would be simple, right? If we just had these 2 confluences, market structure and the premium versus discount tool. But now the 2 last pieces of confluence are going to be the most important, because these help us understand when the market is actually ready to start pushing back in towards the upside. So the third piece of confluence that we're going to be using here is liquidity. And when we try to identify liquidity, what we very simply said do is look within the overall impulse in towards the highs, where we have either trendline liquidity, and trendline liquidity can be identified as, hey, we have a little uptrend here within the overall impulse in towards the highs where we have ascending lows, and underneath these ascending lows, that is where liquidity is positioned. And what you'll often see is that the market comes all the way back down towards the very first liquidity low, and then, for example, continues pushing in towards the upside. This is a very, very common way of identifying liquidity. Now, the second form of identifying liquidity is called range liquidity, where we have sideways price action, and we then believe that underneath all of the lows, that's where liquidity lies. We look for a sweep and then for the upside continuation. And then the last piece of liquidity is overall swing low liquidity, where underneath an overall massive low, that is where we expect there to be overall liquidity position. Now, an example of swing low liquidity or of range liquidity could be, hey, here we have a little bit of sideways price action. What happens is that underneath this low, there is liquidity positioned. The market at the time swiped that low here and then continued its overall leg in towards the upside. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to clean up the chart a little bit because it's getting overall a little bit messy, because I want to keep it nice and simple for you guys. So we're going to keep it as simple as identifying impulse in towards the highs, overall retracement in towards the downside, and now expecting another impulse in towards the highs because of the fact that, again, one, we have overall bullish swing structure. Two, the market has retraced into the premium versus discount 0.5 fib. And now three, what do we have here if we zoom into the overall impulse? Because always within the impulse, that's where you want to identify liquidity. We have trendline liquidity situated. And what we then do is we mark out the very first low. And if you struggle to identify liquidity, guys, on the time frame that we identify the impulse, just go down a time frame to, let's say, the 1 hour, and you're then very clearly going to identify, hey, indeed, here we have a beautiful trend line where we're forming what? We're forming ascending lows. Ascending low, ascending low, ascending low, ascending low, ascending low. All of these ascending lows get taken out, as we can see here, and that's when the market starts to react and consolidate before heading up higher once again. So let's go back to the 4 hour time frame, because we understand, okay, indeed, that is where the liquidity was positioned. So liquidity got taken. That's the third point of our overall checklist. Now, diving into the fourth point of the confluence or of the checklist, that's the overall supply or demand zone. Now, the easiest way to identify a demand zone is looking at something called order flow, where you look at, hey, the overall sell down before the big buy up that caused a market structure break here. And traditionally, a lot of you traders learn that we have to look at a very, let's say, overall small area of demand at, let's say, the bottom of the leg, where here we have the sell before the buy up, or we look at the overall, let's say here, imbalance candle, and then you extend the zone to the right, and then all the smart money concept traders say, okay, here we need to go long. But what you need to understand is that the market is imperfect. So what you want to do is just mark out the entire overall sell before the buy. And once that connection has been made, okay, you have an area of demand, or we've connected with the overall area of demand. Now, that's, let's say, just half of identifying a demand zone. The second half of identifying the demand zone is waiting for the overall market structure shift, where the real demand zone will form to enter the potential trade. And that demand zone shift, or the demand zone creation, happens here indeed on the overall shift in market structure in towards the upside. You can see here, push down, pull back, push down. With this wick, we grab liquidity here, and then boom, strong push in towards the upside. Now, what does this mean, or what does this create? It creates an overall sell before the buy that is a very strong area of demand, because strong areas of demand will always liquidate a low or make a swipe of overall liquidity. So for this overall position now, or from the overall next upside push that we're looking to create here, we're looking for a retest of the demand zone to then take the overall long position. And what we can then do is enter here on top of the demand zone, and we can then place our stop loss underneath the demand zone. And we're always going to be targeting a mechanical 1 to 2 risk to reward with this overall strategy. We're keeping it extremely, extremely simple. And then as we can see here, the overall retest takes place, and then the overall upside continuation in towards RTP happens. And that is how to trade this strategy extremely simply, using 4 confluences that you can literally copy and paste onto any chart or any pair or any time frame. So let's see how this then works on the 1 hour time frame. As the first thing you want to do is identify the overall impulse in towards the upside. Within the overall impulse, we can then say, hey, this here is my swing low, this is my swing high. And within the impulse, the liquidity low is then this low over here, as this is the beginning of the overall trendline liquidity. Furthermore, remember that second piece of confluence, the premium versus discount tool, where we want to see the market retrace into the 0.5 fib. And we identified the overall demand zone. Now, this here is your overall demand zone. We'll just give it a different color. And then trading can be as simple as waiting for the overall liquidation to take place, a connection to be made with the overall sell down before the buy up that caused the market structure to break. We target a 1 to 2 risk to reward in towards the upside. And again, what are we expecting here to happen? Retracement and then another continuation in towards the upside. And the best part of this overall setup here is that we're trading within the overall what? The overall 4-hour impulse in towards the highs, meaning that we're trading an impulse within an impulse, because we're expecting that the 4-hour time frame will continue the overall uptrend to form what? To form a new higher high somewhere over here. So that's why we can then trade within that 4-hour impulse. So what we're looking for here on the 1 hour is just push up, retracement phase to be over. When is the retracement phase over? 0.5 fib, demand zone hit, liquidity taken. And that's why we can enter simply on top of that demand zone. And what you'll then see here on the 1 hour time frame is that the market makes a connection with our overall entry, which was situated literally on the top of the 0.5 fib, stop loss underneath the lows. We target a 1 to 2 risk to reward. And within the next few days, you hit your TP for a beautiful, beautiful 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now, if you have any questions about the strategy, guys, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.